Hey loves, welcome back to TigeraGitana. My name is Abby and today we're going to be doing this week's chakra healing video. It's very sunny in my room today, as you can see. Yeah, my apothecary space is pretty lit, but we're going to work with it. There's a lot of stuff happening, okay, and we're picking up from last week's kind of nonsense a little bit, and there's just kind of a lot of stuff going on, okay. So bottom of the deck we have the Empress, and this is an additional card for this deck. I'm using the Santa Muerte tarot deck. This is called Más Allá. I'm gonna try to show it to you. So if you saw my unboxing of this deck, then you know a little bit about kind of each card. But if you see what's going on, you have like the cosmos up into the galaxies. These are like literally the other realms, and then you have the different versions of Santa Muerte in different cultures, as she's been known. And this is just another layer of death being its own kind of experience. So we have the Empress, and then we have Más Allá. So there's very much a kind of a plot, because even under that is the Three of Pentacles. So there's a divine plot happening right now that doesn't feel quite so good, but it's happening, so we got to deal with it. So there's a divine kind of plot thing going on right now, and it's kind of creating a lot of, how do I want to say this, creating a lot of emotional and emotional issues, I would say. There's a lot of things going on in the root chakra right now. So piggybacking from last week, the card that we got from the root chakra is the Five of Pentacles. And in this deck, this card means robo, and deuda means debt, or to like thievery basically. And that's the card for the root chakra for this week. And it's so funny because when I first saw this card in the root chakra space, I was like, oh, some of you guys are going to be kind of still in the midst of processing the stuff that happened last week, this week. And the way it's gonna come up for some of you guys is it's gonna feel like you wasted your time in something. Like you had invested yourself in a thing that you thought was thriving, that you thought was going to be positive, that you thought it was going to bring growth, but it ended up not being that. And it's kind of it's been not the best experience, I would say, the way I would explain it. So it kind of has brought out a lot of like internal kind of gunk going on, because this feels like a waste of time. It feels like you put your time and effort and investment and passion, and you watered this, you put your emotions into this situation, and it just now it feels uprooted. So there is kind of almost like a lack of, in the root chakra, there's kind of a lack of like nourishment there for this week. So it's really important to really connect back to the earth element this week. I would definitely work with crystals this week. I would work with just even like taking a walk in the park, or being around leaves, getting a plant, just kind of something a little bit more fresh, because this energy is not necessarily the best energy to be in root chakra wise, because it kind of creates like a hot mess. And you could see that with the rest of the reading, because the rest of the reading is a hot mess. For the sacral space, we have the Three of Wands in reverse. And in this deck, this means curiosidad y explorar, which upright means curiosity and exploration, but upright, it is the opposite, which means that some of us are caught up in a funk because of this. I feel like some people might be depressed this week, might be going through some emotional like dips, and not feeling like doing anything, not feeling like leaving the house, not wanting to address anything, not wanting to go to work. Like there's definitely just kind of a distance with kind of using the sacral space as it is, because it is a conductor, and I've talked about this many times. So there's kind of a lacking of using that space at all. So there's just like you know what, I don't want anything anymore. I'm gonna stop wishing for stuff. I'm gonna stop setting my intention for stuff. I just don't care anymore. Like I feel like I'm such in a funk because of this. Like look at what happened this time. What if it happens again? Like there's just like this mental funk going on this week with the sacral space. With the solar plexus, it is also in reverse, and it is the Wheel of Fortune, La Rueda in this deck. And it's just kind of like you're really taking a beating by what's going on astrologically, what's going on just right now, what's specifically been brewing, the way the planets are hitting you, the transits. I definitely feel this. Like the planets have definitely, like my transits have been like, listen, okay, it hasn't been like the easiest to work with. Scorpio season for me, it's a very intense season to work with, because I have a lot of specific critical Scorpio placements in my chart, so it ends up being a season that can be all over the place for me. So working with it is something that takes a lot of effort on my part, and that's what I feel like you guys need. You guys do need to still put in the effort, because I feel like a lot of you are giving up. Wheel of Fortune in reverse is like, you know what, I'm not even gonna give the universe the space and time to even dictate whatever else can come in. I just don't want anything. I take back all my intentions. I don't want anything else anymore. I'm done. I can't do this. I'm just gonna sit here and do the 9-to-5 bullshit for the rest of my life. So there is kind of like a lack of wanting to work with this energy, wanting to kind of push through, and like, even though the Wheel of Fortune is like upended and it's not looking so good right now, because if you look at this card, there's like 3 different ways this could really go down. We're like over here right now. So it's just, it feels like an injustice in many ways, and it's just about still pushing through and still doing the work and still taking care of yourself, even in the midst of everything else being kind of all over the place. You still have to take care of yourself, and that's what I feel like there's a lack of that this week. There's a lack of self-care, there's a lack of self-love, there's just like a funk, and it just does not feel good. So with the heart chakra, okay, I am actually really scared for some of you guys, because I feel like you guys are really turning this experience that you're having into some heart like blocking trauma. Trauma that can literally follow you for your next lifetime, because you refuse to heal this, you refuse to address it, you refuse to take care of yourself, to the point that this is a period that can just be seen as a period of a lot of pain, when it's really a period of a lot of transformation. So the card that we have for the cards that we have for the heart chakra is a Queen of Swords in reverse and the 8 of Pentacles in reverse, which tells me that you guys don't want to mentally process this. You don't want to seek mental clarity, you don't want to know, you don't want to, it's just like, I'm sorry, I'm hurting. Like the way this is coming out is just like, I'm hurting. I feel like I was hurt. I feel like I wasted my time. I feel like, why did I invest in this? Why was I pushed into this space? Why did the universe make me meet this person? Why was I put in that place at that time, and all this stuff? And it's like, there's a reason for why this stuff happens, and at the end of the day, a lot of things end up being lessons, and it's up to you with how you process those lessons, because not processing the lesson creates trauma. That's where this Queen of Swords in reverse is coming from, because the Queen of Swords upright, she is very much clear, she's focused, she's direct, she's like addressing things, like put it on her plate and she will clear it up, and she will say yes or no, and she's good, you know what I'm saying? She's flowing like air. But upright, I mean in reverse, it's like she's not that focused, she's confused, she's not direct, she's very much caught up in the moment, she's not working towards making a decision, towards building herself up, towards having any type of healing. It's just, it feels very much like you're giving up. I feel like some people do need to heal this energy this week, and this is not necessarily like something that you can do in the Akashic Records as far as past life healing, but this is more like current life healing stuff going on. And this could be a repetitive cycle that's been happening for a couple lifetimes now, but I feel like this, what's happening right now, it's kind of a timestamp, and it could really either you work on it properly and you make the decision to heal it now, there's like a critical point, or it becomes a trauma and then you're gonna have to heal it later. So it's that's the way it's coming up. That's the way I feel like it's coming up. So it's really up to you guys how you wanna move through this energy, because it's not the easiest thing to work on, it's not the easiest thing to do, but it takes effort, and it's hard. It's definitely hard this week. I feel like there's a lot of self-care and self-love that needs to happen this week, and it's just it's a lot. It's a lot. So for the throat chakra, we got the Emperor, and I'm not surprised, because as we spoke last week, there was a lot of fire energy happening, and the moon will be in Aries very soon, but there is a lot of like anger underlining how we're communicating. There's the way we're communicating is like we're getting straight to the point. We're not even trying to explain certain things or be kind of detailed. It's mainly like, okay, this is how I feel, there you go. Like straight, clear cut, not fluffing it out, not being letting yourself be overly emotional, but the way the words are coming out this week have like a punch to it. It's just like very direct. And usually Aries, Mercury and Aries placements, they usually, Aries risings, they usually have this kind of an issue. It's not necessarily an issue, they just can be very direct. Like you ask them if they love you and they'll be like, yeah, I love you. But they're not probably gonna go and ham and write you a dissertation on how they love you. It's just like, yeah, of course I do. You know, like it's a directness to it. And they'll show you in the actions mainly, not necessarily like, you know. So the way that it's coming up this week is very direct. It's very like, you know what, if this is what's going on internally with me and if I'm getting screwed over in this situation, then my mouth is gonna be vicious. So there's still some pettiness going on, okay, with some of y'all still being petty. Be mindful of the petty. Okay, be mindful of the petty, be mindful of how you're blocking yourself with your throat chakra, because the things you say, again, words are spells, so the things you say will come back to haunt you at some point. So just be mindful of that. Try to use your throat chakra in the positive way that the Emperor comes up, and is usually in taking back control, and being empowered and taking back, like healing the situation in a way that you're making a clear decision into healing it, and saying, you know what, I see that these areas right now of my life, of my energy, they're down and they're feeling low, and this is how I'm gonna address it. I have to address it. I'm speaking it out. I'm gonna do this, instead of using it the low vibrational Aries energy, which is very beefy. So don't be petty this week, okay? Don't petty. I know some of you guys were petty last week, but don't be petty. Try not to be petty this week. It might happen anyway. Just try. Effort counts, okay? Third eye is the Six of Pentacles, and this is regalo y préstamo. And this, the way this comes up for me in this deck, and this the way I really honestly connect with this card in this deck, because it means something else in other decks for me, is to trust in the divine, okay? And it's funny because when I pulled out 2 oracle cards for you guys after I pulled the cards, and the cards that came out was guides and trust. Okay, so there is an amount of trust that you need to have this week, okay? I feel like there's a lot of helplessness, there's a lot of like wanting to give up. There's a lot of like people being depressed, people being upset. Like it's just a lot of it. You need to trust in the divine, and I feel like if you trust your intuition, if you connect with your ancestors, connect with your guides, you will know what is actually going on. Okay, and that's actually something is funny that I've been doing personally the past week, because I've found myself having so much influxes of emotions, and it's been kind of a little bit overwhelming. Scorpio season is always overwhelming for me emotionally because I'm a Capricorn. I am very much like grounded. I am not super overly emotional. Yes, Capricorns can be emotional, but not like the water signs. This is something I've talked about on my Instagram before. We're not the water signs, okay? When you put too much water on earth, it turns to mud. That's why we can't be overly emotional. There has to be a balance. We need to be nourished ground so the seeds can grow, okay? You can't just be dunking all this water. We're not the water signs, okay? So for me, it's been a very emotional time, and I've had to really kind of, it's funny because anytime in the past week where I've gotten to a place where in my mind where I'm just like, you know what, I can't, like, I just, no. And what will happen is that my guides will show up at that same moment, and I'll just turn into a conversation. I'll be like, I can't, I'll be like, well, no, this is what's actually happening. You know what's happening. Why are you letting yourself think this way? You know that this is going on. And I'm like, I know, but that's not the point though. It doesn't feel good. And it's just like, it turns into this back and forth of, but you know what the truth is. And this is really what this is. Like, you still need to trust in the divine. You know what the truth is. You know that things are going to be okay ultimately, that you will be taken care of. So trust in the divine, trust in your guides. There's a lot of needing to just trust. And even today, I did my monthly spiritual bath today, and the specific blend that I used was the Santa Marta blend. And before I did it, I like prayed to her on my altar. I was like, listen, I really, like, my energy has been so funky, and I've just been so emotional, and I really just need some release of that, and I really need to cleanse that space right now because it does not feel good. So I took a spiritual bath, and literally the second I started pouring it, I was like, wow. And I was like, oh my God, thank God. So it's just really about trusting. You need to trust in the divine. Just trust that you'll be taken care of, that you can have healing there. That just call on them as well if you're having like that type of an issue. But it's just really about just trusting. And if you see what she's doing, she's in other decks, the Six of Pentacles is a lot different because it's like, you know, you giving, and almost like it's either you're the person that's getting taken advantage of and below somebody else who has to take the time out of the day to give you something. And this deck is really talking about the divine and the connection to spirits, and how when you're feeding them, you see there's nothing about this card that's like somebody is indebted. There's just a mutual, hey, I am in this place where I am in power, I am centered, and I am giving, I'm honoring you in the space, and it's just like a mutual give and take coming from this, because that is the relationship that we ultimately have with spirits. We do take care of them to an extent, and they take care of us to an extent. So you have to understand that relationship and work with that relationship, and this is why it's called regalo and préstamo. It's like you are gifting, and then you're asking to be given something. So this is just like, if you've been praying, if you've been like working on yourself, if you've been saying, hey, you know, guys, or pick an angel, whichever angel, and just be like, hey, I've been struggling with this, and just have faith, do what you need to do, give them offerings as simple as water, and just watch how things change after that. But you have to give them the space to do that as well. The last card that came out, which was funny, okay, because I was actually thinking about this, but it came out in the crown chakra, and I was like, ooh, in the crown chakra. We have the Three of Cups, and in this deck, this is alegría and fiesta, okay? Some people need to be in a collective this week, and I'm not really surprised I have to say this, because right now the moon is in Aquarius, very collective card. As much as a very collective sign. As much as it is detached, it is very much about the collective. So there is a need to kind of do things as a group, maybe meet up with friends, talk to a family member. Really good time to just be in a space with others, and especially because all of this other stuff is going on, some of you guys really need a sounding board, other than your head and how frustrated your head is. So taking that space to, or even if it's just spirit, you could do that too, but you can throw them a party if you want to. By all means, they would love that. They would love all the rum. But this is really about collectiveness and coming together and just kind of letting yourself a little bit loose. This season's not supposed to be all bad, okay? Scorpio season, as much as it is a very dark and deep season, it can also be fun. Scorpios are not all not fun wanting to be people. They're very much they're just deeper than anything, than a lot of other people. They're just take things a little bit deeper. Their emotions run deeper. Everything has a deeper meaning. Everything is so connected. Like, they're just deeper. But that doesn't mean that they can't go out, connect, have fun, get caught up in other moments in life. And I feel like that this week, y'all really need it, okay? Y'all need to go out for a drink, go out to the movies, go just do something fresh. Put yourself in a different environment for a minute. Let yourself just have a good time. And the way you do that is by putting yourself in that space, ultimately. So I feel like this week, y'all need to do this. So for the Oracle cards, because we talked about it, it's guides and trust. Really take the time this week to just connect to your guides, because I feel like some of you guys know that it's there, but then do you trust in where they're putting you, what's happening, what's going on? Like, if something hasn't been budging, do you trust why it's not coming yet? Maybe it's not ready. Maybe it's just cooking, like you just need to wait for dinner to be ready. You need to trust in the process, trust in how things have been moving, even though it has been a little bit uncomfortable. Trust the things that are being released from your life as well. It doesn't always feel good, but it's necessary. So that is this week. There is going to be a ton of videos coming up this week, okay? Like a ton. Especially kind of today, to be honest. I am going to be doing, the next video is going to be the empties video for last month, okay? And then tonight the soulmate workshop goes up on the Patreon, so that's going to be up in a class, and we're going to be there's going to be homework and everything, which I'm really excited for, because that workshop has been needed to go up for a while, but I feel like it's really needed right now for what's going on. So we're going to do the soulmate workshop / class plus homework, because I always give homework, and that's going to be broken up in 3 different categories. So there's going to be soulmates, kindred spirits, and then twin flames, because we have to talk about it. So yeah, so that's coming up tonight, and yeah, there'll be more videos this week. I was thinking about doing another spell video, but I've been doing a lot of them, so I don't know. We'll see. Well, actually, no, I have to do the Pisces one. So yeah, there's going to be another Dollar Tree spell coming soon. Stay tuned for that. There might be actually 2 coming soon, because I was thinking about showing you guys how to do a Santa Muerte Dollar Tree spell. Yes, I said what I said. So yes, so I will let you know soon, like you'll be seeing the new videos. Definitely don't forget to check out the Patreon, because we are going to be doing a lot of work, especially with the classes and the courses and everything. And yeah, we're always going over there, so definitely check out the Patreon. We just did the monthly community spell, which was felt really good, especially at the time and what was going on. It just felt really good to do. So I can't wait for next month's too. I feel like it's going to be a lot of fun as well, especially because it's going to be around the holidays. So I can't wait to see what vote on for what spell we're going to do at the end of the month. So yeah, lots of fun stuff going on. Yeah, so don't forget to check out the Patreon. Don't forget to subscribe. Definitely, if you're not following me on Instagram, check out my Instagram as well, because we're always going over there too. And I posted a video on there about the 3 crystals that you should be working with during Scorpio season, because I'm an earth sign and there's still a lot of earth in the chart right now, so I needed to really ground myself, and crystals are a way to do that. And don't forget that crystals is earth signs territory, because people be like up in the woo woo with these crystals and amethyst this and amethyst, yes, but they're earth energy, okay? So there's a video on that on my Instagram if you want to check that out, and I'll probably post it here. It's a very short video. I'll probably post it here. We'll see how I'm feeling, because I've been posting a lot. There's been a lot of YouTube videos lately. I don't want to like super overwhelm everybody, but I also love making videos for you guys as well, so it's always fun for me. So yeah, stay tuned. There's gonna be a lot of stuff. Oh yeah, in the next video it's gonna be my empties video, okay, because we gotta talk about it. So I'll see you in the next one. Bye.